On December 29, 2015, a 25-year-old Chinese female international student checked into a 4-star hotel in Adelaide, Australia. Unexpectedly, just 3 days later, she was found dead in her room with her throat slit. Police investigation revealed several used wet wipes on the bathroom counter of her room. Forensic tests shockingly detected DNA from more than 10 different males on these wipes. The truth emerged that the victim had been living a double life as an escort, what's commonly referred to as a sex worker. Ultimately, it was this high-paying yet extremely dangerous profession that cost the young woman her life. At 8:35 a.m. on January 1, 2015, Adelaide police received a report from the manager of the Hotel Grand Chancellor at 65 Hindley Street. The manager claimed that a young woman had been found dead in one of the 12th floor guest rooms. Patrol officers near Hindley Street immediately arrived at the scene. They first questioned the hotel manager, who explained that guests on the 11th floor had complained about water dripping from the ceiling. When he went to inspect the 12th floor, he discovered the female victim's body inside the room. Standing outside the crime scene were 2 Chinese men, who appeared to be attempting to call the front desk. The victim was found lying on the floor, while the bathroom door remained closed, though the sound of running water could be heard. Upon opening the door, police realized the bathtub faucet had been left on, causing water to overflow and leak through the ceiling below. Police reviewed hotel records and identified the victim as Fang Ting, a 25-year-old Chinese national from Sydney. Someone had booked the room for her for a 3-night stay from December 29 to 31, 2014. Forensic examination revealed that Fang Ting was barefoot at the time of death, with her red-soled high-heeled sandals scattered nearby. She wore a pink long-sleeve sweater and black leggings. Her throat had been slashed, and blood stains were found on the floor, mattress, and a chair in the corner. Since the mattress was slightly dislodged from the bed frame, police deduced Fang Ting had struggled violently with her attacker. 2 horseshoe-shaped blunt force injuries on her head suggested the hotel room's iron as the possible weapon. The bedsheet and Fang Ting's phone had been thrown into the bathtub, submerged in water, though the phone remained functional. Additionally, blooded wet wipes were found in the sink, with a razor blade hidden beneath them. When questioned, the 2 Chinese men gave evasive answers, prompting police to take them in for further interrogation. Initially reluctant to disclose their relationship with Fang Ting, they eventually confessed under pressure. During interrogation, the 2 men revealed their roles. 1, Cheng Chen, operated an escort agency in Adelaide with his wife, what's commonly referred to as a brothel. The other, Xin Qi, worked as a pimp for the agency. Their business exclusively employed Chinese women, catering primarily to Chinese clients. Cheng Chen managed bookings through WeChat, while Xin Qi and other pimps coordinated logistics between clients and workers. To avoid encountering clients in their home cities, the escorts typically worked in other locations. Fang Ting, 25, followed this pattern. Based in Sydney, she had flown to Adelaide 8 times over 18 months for work. Using the alias Honey, she planned a 4-day stint this time. Cheng Chen arranged her appointments, with clients paying cash directly to Fang Ting before she settled the agency's cut with Xin Qi. Xin Qi had booked her 12th floor room and picked her up from the airport on December 29. Through WeChat, clients scheduled sessions with Fang Ting. In just over 2 days, she had seen 16 clients. The last, using the handle Flower Snake, booked her from 10 to 11 p.m. on December 31. Arriving early, Flower Snake waited in the lobby until Fang Ting finished with her previous client. Around 11 p.m., Fang Ting messaged Xin Qi. Flower Snake wanted to extend by an hour, then proposed an all-night booking for $2,100 Australian dollars, claiming he'd withdraw cash after midnight. The premium offer convinced both Fang Ting and Xin Qi. On January 1 morning, Xin Qi arrived to collect Fang Ting but received no response. Suspecting she might skip paying the agency fee, he used his keycard to enter her pitch-black room. Pulling a towel from her face, he found her dead, eyes wide, throat slashed, with the bathtub still running. Panicked, Xin Qi alerted Cheng Chen. As they debated at the door, the hotel manager arrived investigating the water leak. Police seized 2 agency phones containing WeChat details of 17 clients from Fang Ting's final days. Investigators also flew to Sydney, where friends expressed shock about her double life, She'd maintained a legitimate beauty salon job while hiding her sex work. Her grieving family, rushing from China to identify her body, faced twin devastations: her murder and the revelation of her secret profession. In 2007, 17-year-old Fang Ting from Fujian Province arrived alone in Sydney, Australia as an international student. Her father worked as a taxi driver, her mother as a factory worker. Beyond the allowance her parents deposited periodically, Fang Ting supported herself through part-time jobs, working at supermarkets, restaurants, and beauty salons, all unbeknownst to her family and friends. Later, learning escort work paid well, she contacted a Chinese agency in Sydney, initially serving local clients. She eventually expanded to other cities through agency connections, flying intermittently for jobs before returning to Sydney with earnings. Fang Ting guarded her secret meticulously. Despite the escort income, she kept her daytime menial jobs, a diligence that prevented suspicion. 2 days later, the autopsy confirmed Fang Ting died from a slashed carotid artery. The razor blade in the sink was identified as the weapon, though no fingerprints were recovered. No male DNA was found in her body, but multiple male profiles were detected on the blooded wipes. While the room's iron didn't match her head wounds, forensics confirmed her high heels caused the injuries. Someone had wielded a heel like a weapon. A fingerprint on her left shoe's heel aligned perfectly with this striking motion. Hotel monitoring screen showed Fang Ting arriving with Xin Qi on December 29th, numerous clients visiting, and Flower Snake entering the lobby before 10 p.m. on December 31st, taking the elevator, and exiting at 1 a.m. on January 1st. Street cameras captured him running from the hotel, but elevator footage gaps left uncertainty about floor access. Room key logs, however, corroborated all client entry-exit timelines. Beyond these findings, police uncovered another discrepancy. Cheng Chen's rate sheet listed $350 Australian per hour, $600 Australian off 2 hours, and $1,500 Australian per overnight. With 17 clients in 2 days, Fang Ting should have held at least $8,000 Australian cash, yet only $4,000 Australian was found in her drawer. Xin Qi insisted he hadn't collected the agency cut, scheduled for her departure day. So where did the missing money go? After contacting the first 16 guests, the police inquired about their interactions with Fang Ting. Based on their statements and the evidence gathered, all 16 were ruled out as suspects. Xin Qi, who had only entered Fang Ting's room alone on the morning of January 1st, was also excluded, as it was impossible for him to have carried out the entire murder process. Thus, the last person to have contact with Fang Ting, Hua Shi, became the prime suspect. Hua Shi's real name was Piao Chuanguang, a 27-year-old Chinese national with no criminal record. Piao ran a home cleaning service company and lived in the western suburbs of Adelaide with his wife and their 8-month-old son. To investigate, several officers arrived at Piao's residence and, after obtaining his consent, conducted a search. 2.5 hours later, the police seized Piao's phone and a wallet containing $1,250 Australian in cash. However, they failed to locate the jeans and shoes he had been seen wearing in the hotel surveillance footage when leaving. Piao himself was taken to the police station for questioning. During the hours-long interrogation, he remained unusually calm. He admitted to visiting the hotel to meet Fang Ting, but claimed she had mentioned needing to attend to 2 more guests afterward, so he left once their session ended. Piao also expressed willingness to cooperate with the investigation, though his account contradicted the statements of Xin Qi and Cheng Chen, as well as the WeChat records between Xin Qi and Fang Ting. The police lacked concrete evidence linking Piao to the crime. As a result, they had no choice but to release him pending further investigation. Before his release, the police collected a saliva sample from Piao. Unfortunately, subsequent testing revealed that the male DNA found on the wet wipes in the hotel room did not match his. The police then delved deeper into Piao's background and financial situation. Investigations showed that Piao had entered Australia in 2010 and married a local woman, with his immigration application still pending. Prior to this, Piao had frequently solicited sex services. At least 4 instances were confirmed by police. Just a week before Fang Ting's murder, he had engaged another escort at the same hotel. Additionally, the police discovered that on December 30th, Piao had pawned his car for $8,000 Australian to a loan shark company. He then took the money to a casino, where he lost it all within a day. Inside the car, Officers found a sealed bag containing 18 razor blades, the same type used to kill Fang Ting in the hotel room. On the afternoon of December 31st, the loan sharks had confronted Piao, threatening via text message that he needed to repay $3,000 by January 1st at the latest. Yet, instead of scrambling to gather the money, Piao requested an extra hour of service from Fang Ting, a detail that struck investigators as highly suspicious. Further scrutiny revealed that in the early hours of January 1st, after leaving the hotel, Piao had indeed gone to an ATM as he had told Fang Ting, but not to withdraw money. Instead, he deposited $1,000 in cash into his account. On January 9, 2015, after learning that fingerprints had been lifted from the high heels, the police contacted Piao to provide a fingerprint sample. The results confirmed that the prints on Fang Ting's left high heel matched Piao's right hand. When confronted with the evidence, Piao insisted that the prints must have been left when he helped Fang Ting remove her shoes before their encounter. Unconvinced, the police immediately arrested him on charges of Fang Ting's murder. The prosecution argued that the evidence was sufficient to indict Piao. During his pre-trial detention, Piao repeatedly called the lead investigator, requesting meetings and changing his story. He now claimed that he had never booked Fang Ting's services through Cheng Chen. Instead, he alleged that on the afternoon of December 31st, Cheng Chen had lured him to a park, taken his phone, and exchanged WeChat messages with himself to arrange the one-hour session before returning the phone. Piao further stated that at 10 p.m. on December 31st, following Cheng Chen's instructions, he went to Fang Ting's room at the Grand Hotel. However, upon entering, he found two men already inside, ransacking the place, while Fang Ting lay dead. Ultimately, the prosecution dismissed both of Piao's conflicting accounts. The police's theory was as follows. Piao, burdened by gambling debts and pressured by loan sharks, had plotted to rob a sex worker, settling on Fang Ting as his target. Initially booking only an hour of her time, he later realized that killing her too soon would risk discovery by subsequent clients, so he extended the session to an overnight stay. At midnight, under the pretense of going downstairs to withdraw money, Piao asked Fang Ting to accompany him. As she prepared to put on her shoes, he struck her head with her high heel, then slit her throat with a pre-prepared razor blade. During the struggle, the mattress shifted, causing her blood to spill onto it and the chair. Afterward, Piao rifled through the room's drawers, pocketing some of the cash. He then washed off the blood in the bathroom, leaving the murder weapon in the sink. To mislead investigators, he deliberately retrieved used wet wipes from the trash, discarded by Fang Ting's other clients, and placed them in the sink. Upon fleeing, Piao immediately deposited $1,000 of the stolen money into his bank account, while keeping at least $1,250 in cash on him. On August 27, 2016, Piao's trial concluded with the jury finding him guilty of murder. During sentencing, the judge condemned Piao's brutal crime, noting his refusal to confess during the investigation and his fabricated alibis before trial. The High Court sentenced him to life imprisonment. With this, the case of Fang Ting and Piao Chuanguang came to a close. Though the killer had planned meticulously, he could not escape justice. Yet, tragically, Fang Ting's life could never be restored. What are your thoughts on this case? Feel free to share your views in the comments. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this case, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow Case Diaries, there are plenty more cases coming your way. Got thoughts on today's story? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. See you in the next one.